All right, let's go. All right, music playing. Ready? We remember, knowing from sunrise to sunset, that we are more aware, made wise as an expression of knowledge of oneself. Within the ether, we will and direct all is now prolific, more sacred and known. Acknowledging our existence, claiming our wealth, expanding our intellect and intuition in our times alone. Picking up the mantle of our own authority to practically choose, going into new, better, and mindful mindsets that can do when we have to. Speak life, conquering fear. Listening and learning to lead unafraid. Dissolving trauma, seeing love as all that surrounds us. When power in our nature keeps us grounded, we walk in light, knowing the body of our soul is everlasting beyond these stars. Fear not the truth in the dark, for we only see ourselves tell a story that guides us with harmonizing intention, singing and rejoicing without end, as we profit from our lessons, as our hearts prosper, as masters in our now brighter days. In these words, we live the idea, where we find the meditation center and time for the source and mind combined for all that we become all that is. Out of the box, into the stars, the ideal symbol of many gods. The elevated oscillation, highly inclined, energetically taking on space of being. As the exalted bringers of primordial soul, forever in continuation and revelation, saying, take form, power in your nature. Welcome to the Ideal Way. I am Creator Ali Bey, and today is the day, man. Hey, today is the day. All right, so hey, today's topic is culture, the shaping of new genres. Culture, shaping of new genres. All right. The definition of culture is at the root of who we are. This is exemplified in the art we innovate, the boundaries we push, with individual and collective expression. Tonight on The Ideal Way, we interview featured artist Bill Devin Mars, sharing his ideal perspective on life, his multifaceted vision of the arts, and the one we know as hip hop. All right, I'm gonna bring him on stage. Welcome my guest, Devin Mars. Hey, what's going on, my guy?
One love.
Yeah, I know we can go ahead and edit this. I mean, this was a overall. Let me get your overall thoughts on this real quick as far as the intro.
Oh, it's phenomenal, bro. Like that's I'm blown away by it, man. I didn't know you was gonna get into the poetry like that, bro.
Man, look, everything is an expression of the artwork itself. So it's thank you. Yeah. Thank you, man. All right, man. Let me see something now. All right, so like I said, wait, sorry, I'm still getting my nerves out. Hey, man, it's a pleasure to meet you, Devin. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for coming into The Ideal Way, man. Been wanting to get you on here for a while now. Yeah, just go ahead, tell us about yourself, what you do. Yeah, let's hear from you, man.
All right. So first of all, I'm gonna say, my brother, thank you for welcoming me onto the platform. You have an incredible platform filled with such value. It's something that we need, especially right now in this time, right? So I just want to say thank you, my brother, for holding this space for me. I appreciate you for appreciating me and my craft and what it is that I do. My name is Devin Mars. I'm a muralist, hip hop iconographer from Philadelphia, currently staying in Vancouver right now. And we getting jiggy. It's springtime out here, got shows lined up, and I'm excited, man. Hip hop is alive. Hip hop ain't dead. Hip hop is alive, man, and we thriving out here. So I'm honored to have an opportunity to present to the community what I would call the metaphysics of the hood. You know what I'm saying? We can get into that throughout the duration of the show, but man, I'm honored, man. I'm honored. I'm literally just coming off of showcasing at my very first gallery showcase during Black History Month. And we made history, bro, because in the city of White Rock, that was like the very first Black History Month showcase they ever had at the gallery. So like we really made history in Black History Month. So I'm honored to have been able to showcase with all the artists that I had. You know what I mean? I learned a lot, and I'm just keeping the momentum rolling. You know what I'm saying? And seeing what happened over the last 3 weeks has just been very inspiring to me. You know what I'm saying? To go into deeper levels of my craft and to continue to push out the things that I do to the community. So yeah, one love, G. I appreciate you, man.
That's awesome, man. Hey, you said you're a muralist. Like, how long you been doing the murals? Like, when did that?
Uh, bro, probably like 4 or 5 years.
Mm,
Like most of it is like at homies' places. You know what I'm saying? Drawing on their walls. When I was coming to basically live in Vancouver, I had to stay 6 months here and 6 months in the U.S. Right? Like I would come on and off, and during that process, I met a lot of different people. When I had came back to the U.S., I lived in a lot of different places. So
mm.
I've painted murals in people's studios. You know what I'm saying? Anywhere I could get my hands on it to do it. My most recent one that I did was one I was doing in 2022. I had broke my leg last year in January of last year. So I spent all last year rehabbing everything. So I was working on that mural before I had broke my leg, but that one is at a place called Redgate Art Society out here in Vancouver. So they have like shows every week, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of eyes are coming through, and they're able to see the piece. And this actually on my page as well. Yeah,
Oh,
I have
well,
a little story bubble. I don't know the correct terminology on Instagram, but the
it's
little
highlights, right?
circle, yeah, little highlights, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a mural highlight where it shows that mural. You know what I mean? And so yeah, I'm honored, bro, just to be able to create large scale. You know what I'm saying? I think that the stuff that I'm creating deserves to be seen on a larger scale. You know what I mean? So that people can really digest what it is that I'm putting out there.
Look, from what I've seen on your page, I'm highly impressed by that. What would you say that is? What's like one of the primary inspirations you can say like for your artwork?
Um, Overall, it's like black culture overall. You know what
Mm,
I'm saying? Like also like black consciousness. You know what I'm saying? Being black, being conscious, knowing yourself. And what I do is I weave elements of anything from like metaphysical aspects to like anything I can find, like occult stuff, anything, bro, anything I put in there. But I do it through the lens of being a black American. You know what I'm saying? Like I do it through the lens of that. So I created my own art style and my own art lane that I'm calling black metaphysical pop art. You know what I'm
yep.
saying? Because we got pop art, we got pop surrealism, we got different genres, we got lowbrow art. You know what I'm saying? But we don't necessarily have something that is tailored directly towards our culture when it comes to like creating artwork. And I've been cultivating this over the process of maybe like 8 years. You know what I'm saying? Looking at many different black creatives who paint. You know what I'm saying? Everything from every page from like dope black art to like there's too many pages to name, bro. And there's so many artists that I've watched. So what I
Mm,
did was I compiled all that data that I have been receiving over all these years, and I'm like, you know what? I like the pop art style. I like it. I like the colors, the bold colors, the sharp lines. It's crisp. It looks very graphic, like it was done on a computer. So it competes with the times that we're in. But I know how I can make this cooler. I can elaborate a concept utilizing pop culture iconography. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Like I can explain something that would otherwise be too difficult or too taboo in a discussion. I can do it through the artwork, you know what I'm saying, and be able to still have that same effect. You know what I mean? And so people love it, bro, and I'm cultivating more and more of it. So like, I got an Angel Reese piece on the way. I've been listening to that Beyonce album. I got like a Beyonce piece on the way where it's like a montage of like all these different Beyonces, and she got the horse behind her. Like it's crazy, bro. It's
oh
crazy.
my God,
Like
no.
my whole room. I wish I could. I ain't clean studio. I just got in from work, so like I ain't clean studio. Or else, bro, I would show you. I have literally. It's like, bro.
Life of an artist, man. Look, everything is art. It don't matter where you place it. I walk up in there. Look, I want to be like, oh snap! You meant to put that there, son? Yo, that's so fire. I'm like, hey, regardless,
Yeah, yeah,
it's all it takes. So no matter where you put it, man. Look, I'm
yeah.
all for creators in general. You feel me? When it comes
Appreciate
down to it, everything you do, everything, no matter what you do, it's all art, even if it's just temporary. You feel me? So like when you even describing what you were describing, it's I'm literally witnessing you just tell us your superpower, and
it. Yeah,
you able to will that and really be able to display it. Because at the end of the day, it's just like we all seek to spark that inspiration, allow you to feel something. You
sure.
feel me? We all create feeling, and
Yeah,
everything that you've done is just like from what everything I've seen, it's just like, damn, you get that feeling.
Thank
You
you,
feel me?
bro. I appreciate you, G.
It's
For real, man.
in that same direction, man. I love it.
I appreciate you, G. Honestly, a lot of it come from just a love for our community. You know what I'm saying? Just growing up and seeing our community build and seeing our community loving on each other and stuff like that. So it's like I've always been inspired by that. You know, like I still watch clips of like Black on the Block. You know what I mean? They have that event every year in LA, and it's like I love seeing all the Black folks together. So it's like I'll look at certain fits that people got on. And like
Mm.
I on Instagram, I got bookmarks, bro. Like I bookmark everything. I got categories. I got a category for face art. I got a category for like for tech. I got a category for like aesthetic. I everything. So like every time I come across something dope, I'm not just liking it. You know what I'm saying? I'm saving the post into a certain category. You know what I mean? I got a category for canvas ideas, and then I created a new page, and I basically did a collection where it's a collaborative collection between different like the two pages that I got. Because basically, I'm gonna start to bring my media company
Mm.
online. You know what I'm saying? And then that way we can run the merch through that and stuff. We'll get into all that, bro. But yeah, I just had to say, like, man, like just the way that the show started, bro. That kind of energy is the exact kind of energy I'm always putting into my artwork, bro. You know, so again, I'm honored, bro. I'm so honored, bro. But let's get into it, bro. What's going on with hip-hop, man? What's up with the culture?
Yeah, so the culture right now, the shaping of the culture right now. Let's say, like I say, I see us going into a place to where new genres are having to be created. You
Sure.
feel me? So we're moving from the aspects of what we knew to well, as mainstream, the
Yeah.
blocks of what we knew as hip hop, or new identification of what pop was, or even just the artwork in itself, painting, even a whole new painting style. You understand me? Because the culmination of what you've been able to put together and create for yourself, somebody can see that, and then all of a sudden there's a whole new style or approach to how it can even be displayed. You feel me? So we talking about the shaping of new genres. Like, what would you say in your imagination? What would you even see for the future coming when it comes down to the art and
Yeah.
what culture is able to actually come up with? What are the possibilities?
So what I would say, man, what we're gonna actually see, and it's a beautiful time. It's so magnificent. But what I will say is that you have to be able to basically be able to interpret the signs of the times, so you know exactly what time we're in. You know what I mean? Because right now we're in a Black Renaissance, and
Mhm.
specifically we're in a Black American Renaissance. You know what I mean? And like this is something that has been being ushered in since 2012. And that's what I don't know. I don't see this talked about in a lot of different spaces. So I'm gonna give you the whole thing tonight, bro, because this I've been piecing this together energetically, and since you hit me up, I had a little bit of time to think about it, and I've been working on my message to give for tonight. And I'm like, yeah, I'm ready to give it, bro, because I've really been piecing this whole thing together. There's something magnificent about to happen. So what we're about to see is the gospel of hip hop is about to be brought online. That's what we're about to see, right? Like it's a true, actual, real gospel. There's people who think right now that hip hop and rap are the same thing,
Mhm.
and so we're gonna be in a position to basically do it each one teach one. You know what I mean? So that the original principles can be reinstilled. Like what I'm doing as a custodian of hip hop is I'm going to do my endeavors, preserve this culture and preserve this. You know what I mean? What it is that we're doing through reinstilling the original principles of hip hop: love, peace, unity, safely having fun. You know what I mean? With the knowledge of self pillar, the DJ who is an architect of sound. He's an artificer of sound. He's able to engineer and build and mold and manipulate sound frequencies. That's what a DJ does. You know what I'm saying? The
Mhm.
MC is the first orator, the one who is able to give veneration to the Most High via vocal cord. You know what I'm saying? It's a very divine thing. You got the breakers. Breakers and dancers are synonymous. That's divine bodily movement, and dance is also a form of martial arts. You know what I'm saying? And then you got writing. Writing is one of the earliest forms of communication. You know what I'm saying? We write programs, we write codes. You know what I'm saying? But we also write symbols that allow us to access different modes and forms of consciousness. You know what I'm saying? And that's what hip hop is. Now try to do the same thing with rap. You're gonna have a hard time trying to like put it in what I just did when I broke down hip hop like that, because basically hip hop is a tree and rap music is just a leaf on a branch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like if hip hop is a tree, it has these different branches. One of them branches is knowledge of self. The other branch is DJing. It has all these different things. Once you go into a particular aspect of hip hop, then you may get to rap. But you might get into a certain aspect of hip hop and end up in the fucking pardon my language. You might end up in the Harlem Renaissance somewhere. You might end up in, you know what I mean? You're ending up in somewhere different, like jazz or like whatever other kind of black music there was out there, Negro spirituals or work music, you know what I mean? And we need to be able to see full spectrum about like what hip hop is, because hip hop is a whole entire movement and a culture. And right now, rap culture is the thing that is like a veil that's being shrouded over hip hop. So I think in the world consciousness, there's a lot of people, at least millions of people, who still believe that rap culture and hip hop culture are the same thing, but it's not, because rap culture was manufactured, starting with gangster rap in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? In which we saw, right? Like basically, it's going to be a history lesson. This is why I say we're in a Renaissance period. So we get a chance to be students of this divine art, right? Hip hop, as we know it, as it has been called hip hop, started in 1973, right? What you got to look at is that was New York. Fast forward maybe 15, 16 years, now the power source, or like how everything is moving, shifts to LA with the emergence of gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Then you got the East Coast, West Coast beef. You know what I mean? That's still LA. Once Pac dies, then everything shifts back to New York. The energy, it shifts back to New York, and it stayed in New York until after Biggie died, because after Biggie died, then what you start to see is now we start to get more melodic. Now you start to see Usher more. Now you start to see Atlanta and Jermaine Dupri, you know what I mean? And like Jagged Edge, and like you start to see that take, because remember, it was Diddy that merged with Atlanta via Jermaine Dupri. So it went, and hip hop was in New York, then it spread to LA, then it came back to New York, then New York and Atlanta merged together and created, from Babyface to LA Reid to like to New Jack Swing to like all of these little pockets, right? Because watch this, bro. People talk about the Lionsgate portal that happens in August, right? And it happens on 8/8, August the 8th, every year. Now, if you look at Back to the Future, Marty McFly and them had to go 88 miles per hour in order to travel, to do time travel, right? 88 on the periodic table of elements is radium, and the abbreviation for that is Ra. So automatically, it's a comedic science. Hip hop and comedic science are one. You know what I'm saying? It's right there in our face, right there. You know what I'm saying? Lionsgate portal opens up 8/8. Hip hop started 8/11. 8 times 11 is still 88. So it's like from August 8th to August 11th, those 4 days are potent. They're super potent. And it aligns with, it aligns, if I'm not mistaken, with the heliacal rising of Sirius and the inundation of the flooding of the Nile and all that. It's a very fruitful time, and all that is about to happen again this year.
Word?
Yeah, we're heading into that time. We had 50 years last year, which was basically like the capstone being placed on whatever energy we conducted up until that point. The capstone was placed on it. Now, what we're gonna see is, now that the capstone has been placed on that pyramid, all of that energy is inside of that pyramid, and that pyramid is traveling and it's moving and it's taking its course. Right now, we're in the 51 year, so it's 50 plus 1 new year. This is what they call the new age or the new eon. You know what I mean? So this is what we're seeing now in hip hop. We're feeling that it's a new blue sun, so to speak. We're feeling that it's an emergence of a new energy because that's what's actually happening. Whatever covenant happened spiritually for however long ago, when the 50th anniversary of hip hop happened, that covenant got ripped up and destroyed.
Right.
Yeah, whatever is, it's like the human beings are no longer, it's like you're going to know that you're being oppressed, and you're going to know that you're willingly subjugating yourself to the oppression, because the veil's gone. There's no more, like, you can't hide behind anything. You're either going to, you either want to be free or you don't want to be free.
100%.
You know, and that's the decision that we're coming down to have to make in hip hop with the music, starting with what D1 was saying. You know what I mean? He's a very prominent figure in what's going on right now. You know what I'm saying? His name is David. People got to understand, when I say the gospel of hip hop, there's a whole mythology at play here. Everybody has a different role because everybody has a particular energy that they're expressing. But D1, his name is David. So symbolically, he's David who slew Goliath. Goliath represents the music industry and the aesthetic nihilism that's actually tied into the oppression that's happening on the planet. You know, to want all the cars and the diamonds and all, that's aesthetic nihilism.
You know what's crazy? Literally yesterday, I was just like, you know what? You said David and Goliath. I was like, you know what? I was literally thinking about this yesterday. I was like, so who would represent the David and Goliath? You literally just answered my question yet. I had.
Facts.
I never would have.
Yeah, he has a book. He has a book where he's David and he's slaying Goliath. He has a book, a children's book. Yeah, man. Like, it's a real thing. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's real. It's really real. You know what I'm saying? Like, people have been talking about it in certain communities, like with the Blue Star Kachina, right, coming back and stuff like that. And a lot of people talking about Andre 3000's album being synonymous with the Blue Star Kachina, which it was. Now we're gonna go into the summertime, and it's gonna be a red summer, right? And so what that is gonna entail is that we meet the Red Star Kachina. Exactly. So what happens with the Red Star Kachina on an inner level, the Red Star Kachina basically is all of your untapped into potential of your heart. Let's just call it that. But mind you, it's a comedic science. So you still have the whole journey of making sure that your heart is as light as the feather. But the Red Star Kachina, the esoteric divine science in it is that's all the hidden potential of your heart. Tap into the Red Star Kachina, because if you don't tap into it and utilize it properly, then yes, it is a destructive force and it burns up and does all that kind of stuff that people been talking about.
I'm so excited. I ain't gonna lie. I'm sorry. Like, I almost can't even contain myself, because like before we even started, yo, I'm telling you, before we even started, I was in the car driving here, right? The fact, I'm just making this little correlation between the red, the fact I even got it on, this energy I'm carrying. You feel me? So it's just like, I'm like, I listen and I speak with my whole heart.
Yeah.
And I speak with my whole heart. So it's just like you saying that right now, just even with the color with you mentioning just the color right now, I was just like, yo, bro. I'll build it up. The thing is, I try to act on being a demonstration, just as you are. And so the thing is, it's like we may not be able to always fully articulate what it is that we're observing and or even hearing or learning. But at the same time, it's just like you can literally, it's just like putting it in an MPC. You can literally, it goes all in, and all of a sudden you just have this whole new beat. Right, and this entire interpretation of just a time that somebody can experience. They can pull all these elements and be influenced by what you've been taught, but they still can't necessarily digest the entire picture until they get to that vibration themselves. I love everything that you're saying. So, but go ahead and continue. Sorry,
brother. Yeah, man, that's beautiful, bro. Like, honestly, see, and that there, what we just did, that's called rapping. See, back in the day, they would have called that rapping. Rapping is to talk or to have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Rapping is a form of communication. But rapping is also an action of like covering something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the same way you wrap bandages around the mummy, but you also you can wrap your head too when you're protecting your head. You know what I'm saying? Like there's these things we do as human beings, and we have life inside of us. You know what I'm saying? We're able to move and we're animated. And it's like, I believe that hip hop and human expression are synonymous as one. So like, and I like to call it the gospel of hip hop, right? AKA the metaphysics of the hood. The reason why I call it the metaphysics of the hood is a play on words. We know the hood is short for neighborhood, right? but I'm also paying homage to Trayvon Martin.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm also saying, look into the ones in history who wore the hood.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So that you can understand like the energies at play. But mostly why I call it the metaphysics of the hood is because it's a play on words representing the neighborhood or a birthplace or a place of origin, right? Because you're going from a nigga to a naga or a negus, right? You're going from your fallen state to your original state. So you're starting from in the hood on the block, which is the same terminology that you're saying when you're describing your mother. Like your mother is the hood. Like that's because she has a yoni, and a yoni, if you look at the anatomy of a yoni, they have a hood. There's a hood of a yoni, but also a cobra has a hood. And what were the pharaohs wearing on the headdress? A cobra. So this is what I'm explaining. From the actual literal hood being a nigga to a naga, being on your throne within your own consciousness. I'm not asking people to look out and build a throne somewhere out there and go sit on it. No, sit on the throne up here. Sit on the throne in the center of your heart, in the center of your being, because the revolution will be live. Every message that has ever come through the pipeline, bro, that dealt with us getting better as a community, we're going to have to activate it. But the thing is now, all of the energies are available for us to go ahead and activate it. It's as if, because this is what I wanted to say, my G, you talk about the culture. All right. We caught this thing together because of the situation that happened with Drake and Kendrick. I actually been trying to stay away from calling it a beef.
Yeah,
I just didn't, because I remember growing up watching like the beef series and documentaries when we was younger. Like remember like T.I. versus Lil Flip and like all them like that was a whole different era than this. This to me still kind of feels a little bit more commercial still.
Very much.
I mean, because it's not hit 'em up. Like it's not that. It's not hit 'em up. It's almost close, but I mean, it's still kind of far away. Because what Kendrick did say in Not Like Us, he could have said it like Pac said it and hit him up. But he didn't say it like how Pac said it and hit him up. But if he did say it like Pac said it and hit him up, then I don't know. It's gonna be tough to,
on that, by the way. There was apparently he it's funny, but apparently he got the lyrics from a random amount of tweets.
Yeah.
So the lyrics that Kendrick used are Not Like Us were like a whole bunch of fans' different tweets that he literally culminated together and made the song out of. I'm like, what?
Which makes it even more interesting because is that the song where he says we? He's like, I didn't say me, I said we.
Because you talking about culture when he said culture?
I'm thinking that's it. I'm not sure if it was in that song. There's a lot of them, bro.
The last one. The They Not Like Us. They Not Like Us.
Okay, yeah. Because to be honest, my G, when it all first went down, I didn't listen for like 4 or 5 days. I didn't start listening until like maybe 3 days ago, 3 or 4 days ago, because I just been in my art bag. You know what I'm saying? I didn't find a reason why to. Once I heard J. Cole bow out, and I said, "Oh, J. Cole is able. J. Cole is able. He's not Kane. Drake is Kane. J. Cole is able." I was telling the people on my story the other day, I said, J. Cole is a bodhisattva. J. Cole went in front of Dreamville Fest and said to everybody, yo, I messed up. I made a mistake. That's not the way I'm supposed to go. Y'all gonna laugh at me. Y'all gonna ridicule me. But I'm here for the judgment. Take me as I am. But I messed up and I made a mistake. And here's the thing in hip hop, when they say I'm a real nigga and I'm standing on business and J. Cole is the realest of them all because he admitted his own wrong in front of everybody and pulled one of the greatest, honestly, G, this is one of the greatest moments in hip hop since Bob Marley bringing the two politicians on stage to shake hands. Because this is remember, J. Cole didn't only apologize. He didn't only admit his wrong and then apologize to Kendrick. What he also said was Dreamville Fest, like, we love Kendrick Lamar, right? And then he said it again, like, we love Kendrick Lamar, right? Like, just so that's a MC move. That's a hip hop move. That's love, peace, and unity right there. That's what that was. He could have took a moment and then shot shots at him if he wanted to, and everybody would have went ballistic, and it would have been up. But the next day when you wake up, you're gonna be maybe getting pressed in the wrong way or whatever. You know what I mean? So it's like, sure, people might think of you as a clown, and you're not in the big three anymore. Why? Because spiritually, he said, this is not the way I should be going right now. Spiritually, I shouldn't rise up against my brother and try to slay my brother. You know, he said, I'm gonna be my brother's keeper, and I'm gonna be a keeper of the law. Y'all gonna laugh at me, but yo, if I was to keep doing this, I know this don't sit well with me spiritually. He's saying that to all the people. There's not many rappers who are willing to do that at their own event. I heard J. Cole generated $145 million for the city.
What, like that day or?
That day or that weekend. 145 million for the city. The amount of traffic they're bringing in is echoing into the other local businesses in the area, and so money is being spent and made. Hotel is booked up. You know what I'm saying? Travel fare is booked up. The airport is busy because people are flying in. It's when you have events like that and you have some of that magnitude and that star power, like that stuff tends to get overlooked for the headline for social media. You know, but what he did was one of the most hip hop things ever. And now he gets to live with his legacy intact and his longevity. They'll forget about it. They'll get over it and say, like, the only ones who are really trying to call J. Cole corny for what he did are the ones who are kind of like, they want a fight. They like want to, it's like, I don't want to have my chin pushed into the pavement with a police officer on my back. I don't really want that. Y'all saying y'all want this, but it doesn't feel good. So we want something different now. And that's the message that's been coming through with guys like D1 and the Platinum Pledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is something that's like every person gets to participate. You know what I'm saying? And we all get to make the most of it. It's a special, special time. But my brother, I'm gonna get into the meat and potatoes of this thing now, my G. This is what I saw. And this is what I believe that the outline is. Kendrick Lamar, and I'm not saying this is something that he sat down and consciously thought to do, right? This is me being a hip hop custodian. This is me being into Black metaphysics, you know what I mean? And Sun Ra and like and Tribe Called Quest and a bunch of, my mind is, I'm on Ryan Coogler. My mind is on like the part in Black Panther at the end where they saw a spaceship in the hood. And niggas is like, yo, there was a spaceship in the hood. And it's like, yeah, I know where more are though. I got y'all. That's where my mind is with this when I'm looking at the culture. I'm thinking of it like, this no more is 12 Years a Slave. This is on some whole new thing. That's why the cover art that I made it like a month ago, but I made it before this whole beat. I made it before the whole thing. And it's funny because I made it even before the Metro album dropped. I made that piece. And if you look at the piece, it's Jamie Foxx's Django, right? You got Future there, but it's not really about Future. Future is just a placeholder for the future. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not about Future at all. It's just about like the future itself. And then I have Jay-Z there smoking a cigar, like when he's wearing like this hat. It's like everything in the thing is so symbolic because it's like Jay-Z's still like this larger than life figure because he is metaphorically still Jehovah. You know what I'm saying? And then you have Django again, and you have like the evolution of like, it basically looks like somebody astral projecting and it's coming from out of his head. So I'm basically making modern day hieroglyphics. I'm like introducing these ancient concepts, but I'm utilizing imagery that we know now today to re-instill what it is that we was learning there. So what I want to say is this, G, because a lot of great conversation has come out of this whole thing. But I think a very important conversation that came was a lot of people feeling slighted, feeling like, Kendrick was coming at Drake for his race. I've seen a lot of different conversations surrounding that thing. And I wanted to speak not so much about that specifically, but more so on the cultural nuance of what it's like to be Black, right? Because now we've taken the word to mean anybody who is a melanated being. But if we're gonna be politically correct, if you say Black, you're only talking about American Negroes. Because only American Negroes was the ones that actually was. That's when we say Black people, that we're not talking about Ghanaians, we're not talking about Nigerians, we're not. We're talking about Tyrone and them. We're talking about, you know what I mean? We're talking about Jamal. We're talking about them. You know, so we understand that being who we are, but someone who didn't grow up here, because Drake is from Canada and I happen to live in Canada now, and I can tell the difference. I myself have a hard time finding other Black people. Like, I only have met one person from the US in the 7 years that I've been here. You know what I'm saying? In Toronto, it's a little bit different, but in Toronto, it's a lot of Jamaicans. In Toronto, it's a lot of Africans still. Maybe some people have come from New York or Michigan and gone to Toronto and have been there, but the culture is completely different. That's not to say that Toronto don't have tough neighborhoods and doesn't have hoods. They do, for sure. That's not to say that Toronto don't have people drug dealing and doing it. They do. They have that for sure. But why he got to come all the way down to Atlanta to do that? Why you had to come? You know what I mean? It's like, why you got to come all the way? You know, this is my thing. I don't have so much of a problem with it, because I mean, when I look at him, he's one of us, you know. But his agenda is different, and that's the thing where it's like, okay, let's kind of look at it. Because to me, ever since he started to come with, if you're reading this, it's too late, and he started to do the Six God thing, I was like, he started rapping like he a mafia boss. He's changed his whole thing, like, you know.
Yeah.
And then he started rapping like a mafia boss and like a made man, and I'm like, bro, like, this stuff can really get you like touched for real. Like, you can, and if you're not really about it, then it's like these rappers are doing what they're doing, but it's like, I'm in the trenches with the youth who are listening to this. They're crashing out, and y'all are cashing out.
That part.
You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are listening to your guys' music, and they're literally getting locked up in bars, like behind bars, and y'all are living y'all best life in Turks and Caicos. Like, I'm not saying you can't go to Turks and Caicos. I'm saying, look at how you got there.
Yeah.
That can't be hip hop, because hip hop is love, peace, unity, and safely having fun. Once you talking about you ain't my brother and you done with all the lovey-dovey shit, that's not hip hop anymore at that point. And he's verbally saying that, like, you know what I'm saying? As like, hip hop can only be love, peace, unity, and safely having fun. That's the whole thing. People in the Zulu Nation still know that. That's what hip hop is. KRS-One every weekend still does the Temple of Hip Hop live on YouTube every weekend still. And so they would tell you, and there's a lot of young cats who don't know that. So during this Renaissance period, the ones who do know that need to be getting with the ones who don't know that, so we can strengthen their ears, strengthen their hearts, strengthen their minds, strengthen their comprehension about what hip hop is. Nobody can't take hip hop from us, because we don't even know where hip hop is. Hip hop always is and always was. You know what I'm saying? Hip hop was here even before we was here. Because hip hop in and of itself is actually the communion of the elements of nature. That's what hip hop is. You know, so in the same light, I would say hip hop is voodoo. Hip hop is Palo Mayambe. Hip hop is Santeria. Hip hop is, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's real, and I can show you. Watch what Kendrick did. He said, don't talk about the family, Crody. There's people listening to the music that don't know why he said Crody. But if you know the cultural nuance of why he said Crody, then you would know, oh, he's invoking Crip. That's Crip. Don't look at Crip like they're shooting people in their own. Look at Crip as in community restoration and progress. Look at the acronym of why Crip was started. He's rolling with the original principle of Crip.
If you don't know, then now you know. Jeez.
Exactly. So, and like I said, this isn't something where I'm saying he sat back and consciously thought about it, like, and I'm gonna move like that. Nah, this is the energy that's in the atmosphere at the same time that was happening. LA is the city of ghosts. LA is the city of the dead. There's a lot of displaced spirits in LA, and we know that because of the gangbanging culture. There's a lot of displaced spirits there. So what I was saying Kendrick did when he said, "Don't talk about the family, Crody. You don't want to go there, Crody." You know what I mean? Like when he was doing all of that, I'm like, yo, that's like saying on the dead homies. So the way I envisioned it, because I'm seeing people blood walking to OV Ho. I'm seeing people hit the C walk to OV Ho. And I'm like, you think the dead homies ain't also hitting the B walk and the C walk, getting busy in the do what? Getting busy in the Minta down there? They are getting jiggy right now. He made a whole bop for the whole underworld and the whole bay and the whole, like, I'm like, I don't even know if people realize how seismic that really was. They're still crip walking right now. I just saw someone else do some choreo. I'm like, you did choreo to a diss track? When have we ever done a choreography to a diss track? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? That's a new bar. That's a new level right there. New level unlocked. You know what I'm saying? I seen somebody do a Mortal Kombat Kendrick versus Drake where they had Kendrick take his halo off and throw it like it was a freaking and slice Drake. And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh shit.
We got video games from off the, you know? I seen somebody else do it like they made a video game like as if you could pick Drake and Kendrick and Def Jam Vendetta, like you could change their outfit and you could like choose their items and the items was like their different album and shit. It was hard. And I was like, oh my goodness, like this is, we've never seen this before. Like you got merch from this.
But
you know what I'm saying?
The producer, what's his name? Metro. Bro, just the fact of AI being used in this entire scenario as a sample.
Yes.
In order to add and pretty much get the icing on the cake of this whole entire thing. I heard basically a version of the BBL Drake Drizzy song in Merengue. Was it Merengue? I was like, I need to probably make a video of this.
Yeah, man.
You get the baby singing, you got something.
Yeah.
You got something.
Exactly, man. And that's the thing. Like we're seeing a new level being unlocked in terms of how creative we are. The discussion and the hard part still got to be had. But I'm like, look at the potential. Because look at how many people, it's like the people who are Team Kendrick, they're locked in. The people who are Team Drake, they're locked in. The only thing is, it's like the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now both missiles are pointing to each other. Where we need like Michael, like MJ came in and beat it and put his hand on this guy's chest, put his other arm on this guy's chest, and then did the dance and they dance and like we need that. We need to spread the love in the plate. You know what I mean? We should be dancing and blood walking together because blood meant brotherly love overrides overt destruction. Where are these principles at? We got to get back to the.
Repeat that one more time because that was actually new to me. I've never heard that.
Yeah, brotherly love overrides overt destruction. Blood and Crip are acronyms that represent initiatives. Because a lot of people don't know about the Bloods and Crips being formed from out of the Black Panthers and the connection there. So this ties directly right in with a Huey P. Newton, you know what I mean, with a Khalid Muhammad, which is why Drake can't say you're rapping like you're trying to free the slave. That's what, you know what I mean? Kendrick literally represents what is diametrically opposed to commercial rap because he represents as a whole what actual hip hop is. He has the barons behind him. These are the spirits of the dead that hang out in the cemeteries because it's LA. Literally, people got smoked on Slauson Street. People walk down Slauson Street today, but you know how many people died on Slauson Street? Like, do you know how many spirits are on Slauson Street when you're walking on Slauson Street? Like, you know what I mean? There's another reality here. There's obviously a spiritual, like, realm, so to speak, here. You know? So, like, they still exist. They're still here. Why are we're still pulling out 40s? We're pouring out alcohol for the dead homies. That's a ritual. That's called libations for the people that don't know. That's pouring libations out for them. LA and 90s rap, like gangster rap culture, is basically what it is necromancy.
Yeah.
It is. That's what it is. It's all about invoking the dead homie, on the dead homies, on my dead mama, on this grave, on that, you know what I mean? On the set, on the block, on this. It's like, it's very, it's like, it's warlike, but it's also it's a spiritual system.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
So
Like,
like, so would you say LA is probably like one of the most spiritual cities that are generating a music scene?
yeah, for sure, for sure. And
Mm.
and I think that's the reason why it's picked there too. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people are talking about LA being close to what's called the root chakra of the earth.
Mm.
You know, I mean, there's other people who said the root chakra is in a different place, but for the general understanding, I think like Mount Shasta or something like that is known as like the root chakra of the earth, and it's close to LA out there. So the thing is, the root chakra deals with, like, if you are utilizing it the way it's supposed to be utilized, then this is being grounded and having appreciation for life.
Mm.
That's what the root chakra would do. The root chakra will connect you into your identity and help you with your confidence. But when it's not balanced, then it looks like the greed. Then it looks like, you know what I mean, all these other different forms that it takes. You know what I'm saying? So,
Fear and everything, man.
huh?
Straight, yeah, like fear and destruction of that particular part.
Exactly, exactly. So yeah, so like that's the energy that Kendrick is coming with, bro. He's coming with. He's coming. It's literally like, imagine LA being unified, but imagine the dead Bloods and Crips being unified in the spiritual realm, and and they've tied that red and that blue flag together in the spiritual realm, and then they're gonna carry it. And so now the energy and that essence is just in LA. But
Mm.
the thing is, it's a very powerful energy. It can go either way. People can use it for good. People can use it for evil. It's already been happening. There's people wishing death on Drake. I don't wish death on her. I didn't think it needed to go to that level.
Yeah.
I think it was like, bro, you've been rapping like a mob boss for a long, long time now, and like we just asking for, like, if y'all say y'all real niggas and y'all say y'all real, like, just come clean about the stuff that y'all do if y'all real, because we know people do wrong and hide it, but it's not really honorable, you know. So it's like we have to, if we really want to truly see the fruits of the labor that the Most High really got for us, really, then it's like we're gonna have to like make that separation. You know what I'm saying? Because hip hop is our exodus. Hip hop is our Tower of Babel. If we were doing hip hop the way we're supposed to, we're building a tower, we're building a temple, and we're gonna build it and give veneration to the one that created us. But those record label executives came down from their towers and said, let us go down in the hood, let's find some people, and let's go and confuse their language. Let's get them to rap about this. Let's get them to talk about this. And so the same story that you're seeing in Genesis with the Tower of Babel is the same exact story that happened to the music industry.
Mm.
It runs congruent with one another. That's why there's Zionists in hip hop to begin with. Like, you have to actually see it. Like, it's the most influential thing on the planet. Like Erykah Badu said, it's bigger than religion. It's bigger than the government. It's bigger than my nigga. It's bigger than all of those things, because hip hop was always here. And then when the people, bruh, we're gonna live to see in this lifetime the people's consciousness come alive and realize that hip hop was actually God's gift to us. They're gonna be like, yo, cause watch this, G, watch this. God is the first MC. He had the hardest bar ever. Said, let there be light. And there was light. And he said, and it's lit. And if it's up, then it's up. So watch this. He said, let there be light. And then there was light, right? And then all the angels in them was like, oh. And then now the artist gonna see that and gonna put that in artwork as like a halo with like maybe electricity around it, or like all these like divine emanations around it, to try to explain this divine radiance that was carried through in the form of like the word that God said in order for like to be created.
Yo, you got me over here like mind blown at the moment because I'm over here like, yo, when you talk, I'm just like, yo, my mind, I'm like, yo, basically you just said hip hop is source. And it's just like,
Yes,
yo, you talking about that beam of
my
light.
G, my G. Then I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish. But when you say it like that, hip hop is source, I'm like, anybody wanna doubt it? Name what was the name of that hip hop awards? What was it called?
Source Awards.
Why they calling it that? Country music didn't have a Source Awards.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, it was hip hop that had a Source Awards because hip hop is source. They're telling you it's the award of the source.
I'm like, yo, but like you said, beam of light. End of the day, because I'm like, just instantly think beam of light. Just like, let me just say, like the ridges like you see on the back end, right? Mm-hmm. Or just like even if it's just the pyramids or so, just like this hip hop basically is just literally the line, literally inclined, just like you even think of stock. You feel me? Just think of stock, just like the stock market. It's that which is given life, and that which is constantly either going up or elevating at the same time, but never ending.
Mm-hmm. So and that shape is it's the sound of vibration. That's the sound of the womb. That's the sound of the hood. You know what I mean? The sound that you were plugged into before your mother birthed you into this world. That was the sound that you were swimming in. That was the sound that was synonymous with you until you were introduced into a different sound. And all that happened is the sound that you were emitting was placed within a particular environment. Because this is the thing, when you read in Genesis and they say, in the beginning was a nothingness, and earth was formless and in a void, and then the face of God hovered amongst the waters. So I always look at it like, if you in the bathtub, or if you in the bathroom, or even you can get a bowl of water and do it with a bowl of water, fam. You can get a bowl of water, like, I mean, I got this little cup, and like you can just fill it to the top. You know what I mean? And you can see the water still. And if you speak into the water, if you talk right over top of the water, you're gonna see your breath touching the water and making it move. That's what God did. And I know God did. He really did. He did. And they say I'm beating us, but God did.
I'm loving the visuals, man. Oh my God.
Like,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to be mindful of time too. At the same time, I keep looking. I mean, what time do you got to be out here?
You good, G? All right, we like 20 minutes. We good.
All right, cool.
Yeah. Cool. And plus, we could do it again, G. It's the first one. We getting the jitters out and there. We good, G. Yeah, man.
Oh my God, bro! The visuals have me on par right now. I'm just like, man.
Thank you, brother. For real.
Freaking dope show, bro. This is a dope show.
Thank you, brother. I'm honored.
Yeah, man. Thank you for being on here, man. Because this is literally this is literally showing how the pieces are coming together. You feel me? Man. How the pieces are coming together, adding to the collective vision that we're all witnessing right now. You feel me? And then you're starting to see your overall avatar literally playing its role, and all you're doing is being in tune and speaking at the end of the day. You're literally just expressing at the end of the day, and then the avatar is literally just playing his role freely without the restriction. So it's just like you saying, what we're doing right now is rapping, the extension of hip hop, so the extension of source. So right now it's phenomenal to be having this conversation, this topic, having to really observe these last couple of days, and then seeing everything right in front of us, man. I'm grateful. I'm grateful.
And you see what it turns into? Hip hop, if you do it properly, turns into people just talking about how grateful they are. Not about how they got this car and that car and this and they got that. No, fam. And now you see the difference. Now you see that there's a clear-cut difference between actual hip hop and commercial rap.
Right.
Because the commercial rap, once it's commercial, it's tied into the law of commerce and the law of admiralty. You're dealing with what they call it, the law of the sea. I forget what they call it, man. There's another word for
maritime law.
Yes, maritime law. So that's what you're dealing with. When you want to wear that haute couture and you want to wear that expensive Givenchy, you're not, man, you paying tax on the fact of it's maritime, like, you know what I mean? You paying the tax on that stuff. You're dealing with that because you're dealing with those who dealing with the Romance languages, which is Latin. You're dealing with that. You know what I mean? Because the Chinese, that's not, they don't write in that language. They don't write in Latin. You know what I mean? Even though you said you have French, you got Spanish, you got Italian, but a L is a shape that exists in all of those languages. But if you go to Cyrillic, or if you go to, like, I don't know, like what the Hindu people write in, they don't have no L in their language. You know what I'm saying? So the way that we're even interpreting symbols and what these symbols mean to us is different. That's within the realm of hip hop called knowledge of self, and it's also in the realm of writing. But I know the New York and like super hip hop heads gonna be like, nah, writing is only graffiti and graffiti only. And I'm like, I'm looking at this metaphysically. Like, writing is something that, like, who is the scribe of the heavens? That's what I want to know. Like, ask ChatGPT, like, in the most metaphysically eloquent way possible, could you describe to us who would be the scribe of the heavens? You know what I mean? And then ChatGPT gonna get jiggy with that answer, bro. Watch. I said the question. If someone happened to put it in the prompt and get the answer back, you're gonna see it's gonna be like, oh shit. Hey, it's actually like, there's something special here, man. And so what I wanted to say is staying with Kendrick, right, bro? Because that was just the first part. There's the Barons, there's the Gede, who are they are the dead. You know what I'm saying? And I'm also speaking now. I'm talking a little bit more about like New Orleans voodoo a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking more because that's more so in that kind of like understanding. But I'm giving it to say, they would say that they're hanging out in the cemetery. Have you seen Princess and the Frog?
Yes.
Okay, so like Dr. Facilier, after he couldn't get them to change into the frog, remember he was getting dragged by all those like spirits. Not that's all the Good Day and the Baron and all them. That's you're dealing with that realm of things there, you know. And so if you ever seen like Tales from the Hood, like that, bro, like that part, like the part where the councilman got killed by the white officers and then he came back and exacted revenge on them and stuff like that. Like that energy is what's here now. It's not about exacting revenge so much like killing. It's more like, yo, for 50 years, we let this shit get run into the ground for 50 years. But also for 50 years while it was getting run into the ground, something spectacular was being planted. And now it finally has a chance to grow and shine under a new blue sun. So I'm going to give this knowledge here now, brother, that the pyramids obviously are aligned with Orion's belt and they're pointing to Sirius, but Sirius itself is pointing to a gateway beyond Sirius, right? There's a gateway beyond Sirius, and I call it the Hall of Suns. There's a Hall of Suns, meaning these are all of the sons that are going to be born in the future. So when you tapping into the power of the pyramids and that whole thing, yes, you will tap into time travel because all those pyramids are pointing up there to the entrance point of the womb, which I'm telling you is the yoni, which I'm telling you has a hood, and it is you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you are the central point in that thing. You know what I'm saying? You are the Bindu dot. You are the Bindu seed. You are the, you know what I'm saying? You are the primordial essence and the primordial black, the triple blackness, as Bobby Hemmett would have put it. Like, this is here now. So what I want to say is, the theme that I saw within this rap beef is dead homies, because Pac was brought up. Takeoff was also brought up in this thing too, because of the other with Quavo and them. You know what I'm saying? What else? Yeah, so you got Pac, you got Quavo, you got
I think those are only two.
Huh?
I think those are only two.
There's that, but Rico Wade had just died.
Oh, wow.
So he was a new ancestor in the realm. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of death surrounding the situation. You know what I mean? And that's because it's LA. LA is the city of ghosts. They call it the city of angels, but for sure it's the city of ghosts. It's a ghost town in LA. You know what I mean? And so Nipsey Hussle's anniversary of his death had just we just passed it. If I'm not mistaken, didn't he die in April? If I'm not mistaken.
I know. Yeah,
Maybe he died in June. I don't know. I will go back and fact check, but I'm almost certain that he died in April.
Yeah, it was in the spring. I want to say.
Definitely. Yeah. So then it's like we're either about to go into that time or we had just passed it. But either way, another homie gone. So they're all that energy is present here, and then there's key lines when he say, "You think the Bay gonna let you disrespect Pac, nigga?" It's like that line is so integral because it's like once you say Pac, and once my man calls him a certified pedophile, once you do that, what ends up happening energetically now is, oh, he invoked thug life. Oh, he really, really standing against him now. Because once you invoke thug life is the hate you give little infants fucks everybody. You can't fuck on them kids because that ain't thug life. You know? So that's like real recognized real. It's like everything that should have happened, like it's right there. It's like, look at it. Once you say Pac and once you say thug life, you have to understand and recognize the cult of the thuggy. Go back to read about the cult of the thuggy. Yeah, they got infiltrated and ran, you know, amok and you know what I'm saying? But initially, that's where we get in the whole thing of the thug and the thuggery. It's from the cult of the thuggy. You know what I'm saying? Tupac is connected to the landmass of America because his middle name is Amaru. Like Amaruka. We're calling it America, Amaruka or Amurakan. You know what I mean? Like that's the name of a king. Amaru Khan is the name of a king. That probably is the land mass itself. You know what I'm saying? Like this, it's connected there. And I say, that's all America. He just invoked all of America to go and point towards this Canadian. That's the breakdown of the whole thing. It's like, yo, everybody sees this now. It's deep, bro. It's deep in that way. And that's what I'm saying. It's a renaissance, bro. It's a renaissance. We're gonna have to learn how to divorce ourselves from our idols.
So that's like, so with the show being shaping of new genres, that right there will probably be the key. Divorcing from the idols.
Yeah, you have to because if you don't, then you leave yourself open for disappointment. You know what I'm saying? Because the idols, they are ideals. They represent different ideals. They represent like concepts and ideas, but not all the concepts and ideas are good ones that you should use. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we're at now. It's like we need hip hop, original hip hop for the babies. We need it. Like they say, Wu-Tang is for the children.
See, authenticity is the word.
Exactly.
Authenticity is
exactly. Exactly, bro.
It's going to be exemplified. Like, if there's anything that I am really pushing for in these coming years, as far as overall purpose, is literally standing as a force of authenticity, bringing forth and allowing this platform to expand for people who exemplify authenticity and move with that purposely, and have the understanding that who we're doing it for. You understand me? So who we're doing it for primarily, it's not necessarily for the people around us. It's for the generations who our eyes are not meant to see. This is for who. That's who it's for.
Yeah, so exactly.
It is, and they're gonna constantly be able to take that and go to the next level. Just like us seeing Basquiat, knowing, wait, like how long ago did he pass? So this is like, dag,
Yeah.
You see it now to this day, still inspiring, and people are taking
True.
that and just moving forward with it. Man, look, we just hit the hour mark, man. We just hit the
Yeah.
hour mark.
We have
And
five, 10 more minutes, G. Like yeah, man. I'm cooling, bro. This is very, very powerful. This is a great moment, an amazing moment. And it's like I love your mind. I love the way you speak, brother. I really, really do, man. I enjoy hearing you, brother, and I'm honored to be on the platform, bro. Like this was an iconic moment. And so like I want to be able to do this more with you, bro, because I'm just open to this. Like one day, bro, it was one day in the summer, man. One time I got called a culture vulture, bro. And I was like, you know what? Because I was studying everything. I was syncretizing all the world religions and everything into like one universal understanding. And I got called a culture vulture for doing that. And I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna deal with hip hop then. Because nobody can tell me as a black man that I can't like deal with hip hop.
how is that a culture vulture? I mean,
I don't know. I
you
don't know.
talking about yourself.
It
That's
don't make
the purpose of that. What this is. This is literally a universal grammar. The word ideal smashed all in one word. So you can't
yeah,
tell me I'm cultivating anything. The whole
yeah,
goal is, I mean, I'm sorry, not vulturing to any goddamn thing. This is literally under my own individual understanding. This symbol was made before I could even understand what the heck they even properly articulate. So
exactly.
you picking this apart, and as time going on, I'm like, oh shit, it's making sense. Scaring
Mhm,
myself goddamn near to the point to where I'm just like, okay, damn, this shit's real.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's like, so matter of fact, if I could even like, if I can get my hand on.
yeah,
All right, it's from what you see from this side coming inside. That's literally coming from source all the way down into to where you would see a body right there underneath the stars. You feel
exactly.
me? So it's explaining just that energy. Your
Mhm.
spirit, that connecting into your quantum mind, taking
Right.
in where you see the L, which represents the light,
Mm.
represents the light or the light road of life that we're literally observing with our
Yeah,
eyes. And then you see the little body right there underneath the stars. And it's
right.
just like, so me having to, this is supposed to be pretty much go for 100 generations.
Hmm.
So my question was how can I pass on information for 100 generations? I had to basically understand symbolism, put it in the form of a symbol
Yeah.
that can literally just spark your imagination.
Mhm.
That's it. So however far it can take your imagination, that's where it's supposed. That's how you're supposed to pull out the information. So depending on your level of knowledge, based off the either coloration, color from the colorology, or
Yeah.
whether it just be the colorology or just your just perception of just how deep you can identify with any word that starts
Right.
with the word I that is within yourself. You feel
Mhm.
me? So if you
Yeah.
even refer to the Rastafarians, right? So they say the I and I. So this is
Right.
basically that almost like that's a lot the understanding of that philosophy. You feel
Mhm.
me?
Yeah.
So I say the ideal. So if you see the image, I wish I can blow it up, but like the image in itself, you
Mhm.
see, is like I said, it's literally the word I all mashed in together. So it's just, but it literally exemplifies and shows you and tells you that story from that I stated in the beginning of the video.
Right.
So that right there is a description of what you're looking at, as far as an expression of what you're looking at. Even the page you see on the IG page, the
Yeah.
IG page is each thing is a different expression. You have like I said, the shirt. You have this in itself is a card, right? This picture here in the back is a card. Um, I had to create a whole other expression just for me personally in order for me to work with others, right?
Mhm.
So if I was gonna meet you, I wanted you to leave with something of value.
Right. Right.
So
Exactly.
I I started, so I literally like using my artwork in itself.
Yeah.
Um, I changed that artwork into a card, and I have put it like a message on the back of it. So now when I
Very.
meet people,
Yeah.
I just come up to you and be like, hey, green or blue,
Yeah. Yeah.
and you can be green or blue. I have a green one, and I have a green one and a blue one, just like this. Now this is the metaphysical aspect of this. I'm literally putting you in the mind frame of what you and use your imagination. You see, it looks like electricity, right? So picture black lightning. I'm black lightning making a currency deposit to you
Right.
right now. So I'm literally giving you some energy. If
Mhm.
you find value on the back of this card, you can either hold on to that charge right? Or you can pass this charge off to anybody else. So this is literally just that way of passing off some good energy.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm putting you in that mindset and everything. Now on the back of this blue card, the important, like the word, the message you get is living on valued energy, which is the acronym for love. You understand? Wow. So me literally giving you that energy, I'm literally giving you some love or place to even start to even, or perspective to even see love. Because in this particular day and age, we don't necessarily hearing all this crazy ass music. We don't have that foundation of what love is. Like love is patient, love is kind. Yeah. So the thing is, you have something to actually look at. You understand? Something to break down. Now, the important aspect when we hear the living on valued energy part is the word value.
Yeah.
We talk about self-love all the time, right?
Yeah.
So now when we're actually applying this love, we understand from the value aspect, we're literally giving ourselves context by pointing out the values in ourselves. Those values equate to the love we have for ourselves, right? And now when we tell somebody else we love them, you feel me? We're better mirrors to them than they are to themselves. So now when we tell them we love them, we're actually providing proper context in the value that they're providing just by being, you understand, by being who they are and just literally amplifying your overall environment. So now, like I said, so now they have that understanding, they can take that, and now you teaching this to the kids. You feel me? You teaching this to the kids, this version of love or perspective of love. They're able to see and be able to teach it. Now it's just mirror. Now it's just mirror teaching, mirror neuron teaching, mirror neuron, and it's evolving. You feel me? So honestly, since I started this, it's just like, okay, this is the energy you're literally discharging out into the world. Honestly, and they said what you put out, this you get back. You feel me? And there's been some drastic changes. It's been a little overwhelming, but I can never say that I've been placed that it's not already been prepared for. I will not be with all that I need in order to sustain, maintain, and literally override everything and everything around. This is like what you're looking at here, this right here, it's just like I'm doing this test. It's going up with this particular point. And I'm just grateful. I'm just grateful. Absolutely grateful. So what, and another thing to keep in mind, despite if anything even seems like it's negative, man, look, matter of fact, you can always I consider myself more of an alchemist than anything, right? This particular point. Producer, art, creator. Get that? No, producer at heart first, because everything is produced. Because I'm a producer, as far as music, that's where I understood everything first. I understood everything through music first. That's basically was my mentality. That I understood myself as a producer, but then I understood myself as a creator first. I called myself creator, as my production name.
Right.
So like me having that particular understanding led to me understanding, like letting me to question what the idea was. Because crazy thing is, I was working on a project for I was like, you know what, this is going so well. I'm like, you know what, how would I market myself? Just producer now. I'm like, all right, I am creator, and I make the ideal sound or the environment, because I was creating a stage for their artwork.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, I understand myself creator, but what the fuck is the ideal?
Right, exactly. Yeah.
And it's like, honestly, these years has basically been answering that question down to the very first art piece was literally just started from paper origami and me just folding it down to dimension to dimension to dimension to just these bricks, getting these bricks of imagery. So what you see behind here, these were made out of like one little brick and they evolve into actual full-on patterns, and it's just like slowly more and more just like develop more, like just overall you get these life experiences to go along with it throughout the entire process. As you're going through this creative process, getting these inspirations, creating what you're creating, you're growing and evolving in the process, and the art is evolving over the process to the point to where you're literally getting led into actual goals. So it's like literally an alchemized process.
Yeah.
So me even being, if you can actually put this into like a fast speed montage, it will go from point A always to the point I'm sitting in front of you right now, and it's just like, oh shit, how the fuck did I get here?
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm blown away, man. I'm blown away to have everything come out as it has, down to this conversation.
Sure.
Hell, even me talking is an expression of the artwork.
Exactly.
It took time to build, to get here, to be able to even communicate to people what it is, what we are both witnessing in this day and age, or even are able to articulate, even or express, either through our artwork or to anybody else with a like mind. You feel me? Yeah. So anything we are create, even if they don't understand right now, everything we create is an example for when they do get there, to when they see it, they can follow along with it. You understand? So, bro, commend you. I commend you for everything you are doing. Keep doing what you are doing. I'm watching. The world is watching. Whether you believe it or not, you are being seen. You feel me? But when you think nobody's looking, you are being an example. Cause somebody watching, you feel me?
Yeah.
I tell this to anybody I see on the street. You feel me? For the last couple of years, even going through my process, I see you. They were an example of consistency. Yeah. You are an example of consistency. Whether, even if you never knew. You feel me? So keep that shit up. Don't ever stop. Keep doing what you are doing. Hell, I'm proud of you. If you ain't hear nobody say it to you, I'm proud of you. You feel me? You already family. You are part of the Ideal Wave Hall of Fame and family. Your first episode, man. We just made history.
Yes, sir.
Made history.
Hey, look, honestly, I don't even have enough words to even thank you, brother, for just what we did, man. What we did tonight. Really, honestly, we're gonna see this echo out throughout the rest of the year, my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a beautiful time, brother. And so I just say thank you, man. Really, thank you so much, bro. Honestly, thank you, man. Like, just the fact that the other day I happened to just go on Instagram and see your message that you were interested enough even bringing me on. I'm like, my whole day was just, it just was made better from that, bro. And I wasn't even having a bad day. It just was like, wow, like, all right, word, like, I know this is for me. Because I kept saying, I'm like, there's art and there's, having shows and getting collectors and, but I'm like, man, I can speak too. So like my thesis, I want to take it to the UN. I want to take it to TED. You know what I mean? I'm going to take and do an MIT masterclass like Lupe did on rap theory. You know what I'm saying? Because like it deserves that. It deserves that. You know what I'm saying? It deserves that. So I'm honored, bro, to just be here right now with you, with the community, and just being able to do what we did tonight, bro. So thank you, man. I appreciate you, G.
Hey, is there any can you just make sure you what's your social media? How can they follow you?
Yeah, so social media, Threads, YouTube, Real Devin Mars. At Real Devin. That's REAL Devin, DEVON, and Mars like the planet. Real Devin Mars. You can find me on
hell of it. You never know who might end up catching this.
What's your cat? Exactly.
Just drop it on because you never know, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah.
Like I'm saying, you have a Cash App or anything just in case.
I don't even have Cash App in the US, bro.
What?
Oh, sorry, in Canada, I mean. In Canada, they don't have it. Yeah.
You did say you was over there.
Yeah.
Hey, man, it's been a pleasure regardless, man. Yo, hey, we gonna call this a conclusion, a great conclusion. Until part 2, we're gonna probably take it on some more topics, man. This has been phenomenal, man. All right. So everyone out there, y'all be blessed. Take form, power in your nation, man. Take form, power in your nation. All right, man. I see.